3 years ago, with my feature film Siberian Exile, I got the invitation to Toronto. It was 5th, as I remember, because yes, today we have 8th edition. And I must say that it's a well-known festival in Poland because of many reasons. A lot of Poles living here in Canada, especially Toronto and close to Toronto. And for many years, Richard Bugajski was living here, for example. So I was very I was thinking, is this audience is the same as in the States, or maybe it's something different? Mm-hmm. And I think that there is a little bit difference between Canada and the United States. In simple words, more European roots in Canada. Maybe because of French language, maybe because of European films, which very often are in the cinemas, not so often in the States. Anyway, it was fantastic audience 3 years ago. This film is a combination of many, nearly 50 feature Polish films. Why? Because it was a kind of anniversary of Wrocław Film Studio, and they invited me to this project. My idea, my concept was that to put on the screen the best part of films which were made in Wrocław Film Studio. And together it's 104 minutes history of Poland. It started in 1939, it means the beginning of World War II in Europe, and finishing now, nearly in 2016. So the main hero, the main character, is the history of Poland. Not an actress or an actor. Of course, we have one fantastic Polish actor, Polish James Dean, Zbyszek Cybulski, and he is a kind of guide. He invited the audience to this trip through Polish history, through Polish film, from nearly 75 years of such a journey. The message is very clean and clear. Every day we should be not so easy, and we should battle about democracy and about freedom, especially our country between two big European countries like Russia and Germany, and our sad history that we disappeared from the map of the world, from the map of the Europe, recognize me that nobody's safety. That the most important thing is to have in your state democracy and liberty. So this is the motto of this film, I think, all over the world. Of course, it wasn't so easy. It was a censorship in Poland. Wrocław was in not such a bad position, because Wrocław is far away from capital Warsaw. By train those time it was nearly 9 hours. So the Clark censorship was in capital, in Warsaw, and we prepare more brave our projects, our feature films in Wrocław. So that was the comparison between films from Łódź, Warsaw or Wrocław. I think that we have in completely another situation, but of course we are not so free, because money now is the most important thing, and our producer said, no, this, not that, because we are short of money. Before was forbidden things like Soviet Union, like
So maybe it's a good
it
idea.
was impossible to show in Polish films that, for example, communism it's a very bad, impossible. Now, okay.
So maybe it's a good idea for, I guess, filmmakers from Toronto to maybe cooperate and work with filmmakers from Poland, and combine their budgets, right? So what would you say, how would you invite filmmakers from Toronto to Poland? How would you convince them to make their films there?
Of course, first is the script or the idea. For example, I was making film in New York called Merry Christmas and the Happy New York. Szczęśliwego Nowego Jorku in Polish language. And it was the article on the first page of New York Herald Tribune that, oh my goodness, what a time. Polish filmmakers invited to the job American filmmakers and making Polish film about Poles living in New York. Poles are living in Canada, maybe this is the subject. Maybe Canadian roots and Polish roots together should be taking place in Poland. Nobody knows. But I think that it's a good time to start thinking about cooperation.